Alright, so today this is me riding my wife's bike. It's the Hyper E-Ride. The Hyper E-Ride, which I picked up off of Walmart on a rollback special. I had to roll over to pay it. It actually was cheap, and I probably should have bought two because the quality of this bike is really good. Yes, it's a small wattage hub. Yes, it's a mass-produced bike. However, it has Shimano system for derailleur, and the Shimano system is really nice. The brakes work great. It's got Revo shifters. Those work pretty well too. So yeah, 700cc wheels. You can see these tires are nice. They get real grippy. And this battery does last a long time. The quality of the build, well, the quality of the build is what you get. Like for $400 is what I paid on the rollback price. Yes, $400. I should have bought two because right now they're at $680. The MSRP at $800. So had I bought two, it would have been two for the price of one at manufacturer suggested retail. Anyways, this bike rides really nice. Maximum speed is going to be 20. I don't like to put it in the third mode because it's going to use a lot of battery power up. So I never really go over the second mode out of the three. The brakes are V brakes, which is really cool. You don't really see too many of those anymore with the disc brakes that are out now. I always like these brakes because they're super grippy and responsive too. Why am I wearing a mask? Yeah, that's a good question. Actually, I've grown accustomed to wearing the mask. I'm by the Monterey airport, which is right here by the Monterey Fairgrounds. That's the historic Monterey Fairgrounds. Right there. Hasn't changed. It's just like back in the videos, Monterey Pop. And it's awesome. I've been able to work there a few times and used to support the AV in-house there. So anyways, like I said, there's nobody around. Taking my mask down. Ah, there's me. Anyways, maybe you'll hear me better now. But anyways, this E-Ride, Hyper E-Ride city model, it's really nice for the money. I can't, you know, people bashed it. I'm not going to say who online. At first I was kind of like, hey, look, you know, look, I got my Lectric bags on there. I'll explain that in a minute. However, oops, the electric bag, let me just say this. I got a little crack in the back of that battery. I'm going to have to fix that. The electric bags don't fit the Lectric XP that well, but they fit this bike very well. And maybe for some riders they would fit, but for me, my legs, the back of my heel kept catching the bag. Even if I kept raising the seat up higher and higher on the Lectric. Anyways, I added this super padded seat. The Hyper E-Ride seat sucks. It's the worst seat I've ever had ridden on. After it, you might need surgery if you tried to ride on it too long. And so just ditch that seat right away. Yeah, well, this fender configuration is weird. It's a dual fender config I put on there wrong. I was transporting the bike on a car rack, took the front wheel off, and apparently the fender hit against the bike rack, and maybe the rivet or the screw popped out. So I've got to get another screw like this one for the front. But I actually like the bike without the fender, to tell you the truth. And I'm not going to ride it in bad weather or in mud, so really it's just going to protect against the dust, right? So anyways, I'm going to ride this bike and get it over to my storage place and grab my Lectric. That's why I have the battery there in the first place. But now I noticed some damage on the back of that battery. I'm not real happy seeing, so hopefully that's not going to affect the battery too badly. It looks like if I take it off and put it back on and get that part back in there where it needs to be. Anyways, that's another problem to solve. But and we'll talk about the Lectric. I love the Lectric XP, and we're gonna talk about that on video. It's a great bike. It needed a little bit of love and care along the way. I've got it just over 500 miles now. Lectric, the support there's been really good, and we'll talk about that too. So I'm gonna go for a ride. All right. Alright, so here I am back on the Hyper E-Ride, and I must say it's been really nice getting the hills. This thing is not so bad. Maybe 30-degree incline I was just on. It was in the easiest gear, and I was in the second speed, and the second pedal assist mode, and it was great. So right now here I am at the Monterey County Fairgrounds. This is closer to where they have the flea market and the indoor flea and outdoor flea. But let's go for a little ride around here. I'm gonna be one-handing this, so be careful. So yeah, there's like a lot of cool concerts that happen here. The Cali Roots Festival. There are, of course, there's the fair itself, the fairgrounds, right? So the fair is awesome. So much diverse stuff going on. We came out to check it out. My wife won a blue ribbon in art. First time she entered. And I was very impressed by that. And apparently so were the judges, because her work was really good. And if I get a picture of that and insert it into the video. But yeah, as you can see, the Monterey County Fairgrounds. Historic. Not the turf club. That's not so historic. But that is off-track betting. So you can even do off-track betting at the Monterey County Fairgrounds. There's a RV park here now. People lining up for the drive-in movie tonight. I'm gonna go around the side or take a look at that. Might be my buddy running that tonight, Bobby. We'll see if that's him. I think that's his car right there. I think that's him doing the AV tonight, so I'm gonna check it out. Hit pause and go check it out. Hyper E-Ride. See, this thing is smooth, and I'm riding with one hand. I'm pedaling real easy. It's nice. This thing is nice, man. All right. It's good to see people back out. Holding this thing kind of awkwardly, but yeah, totally good to see people back out here at the fairgrounds. It's a good feeling. People are coming back out of their pandemic spider holes. Alright, so I'm gonna hit pause on this recording and check out to see if my buddy Bobby's here. I'm pretty sure that's his Honda Pilot, so we'll get some video with Bobby if he's here. So this is behind the scenes look at the video wall here at the Monterey County Fairgrounds Drive-In. The power boxes it takes to drive this whole LED array. Tonight's movie night, drive-in movie night. You follow these cables. My buddy Bobby upstairs. Gonna go check him out. Check him out. It's Bobby Gwynvarch in the house.
Hi.
Running the control room here at Drive-In Movie Night, Fairgrounds. Haven't seen Bobby since pre-pandemic.
I know.
How's it going, brother?
It's going well. How are you?
Yeah, check him out. Are you vaccinated by kombucha?
I mean, I've been vaccinated. So.
And you got the kombucha going?
Yeah.
All right, cool, man. What is the movie tonight?
Grease.
Grease, excellent. One of my favorites when I was a kid. We went and saw it multiple times in the theater. I have the gray hair to prove that true. All right, well, I'm going to turn the camera off and ask Bobby some personal questions because I haven't seen this guy in ages. And then extend my ride on the Hyper E-Ride. All right, so here I am back on the E-Ride, and I'm in the middle of the Monterey Fairgrounds. There's a cool little path in the middle here that's just perfect for this bike. There's tiny little bumps here and there, but you don't even feel them because this thing has a front suspension. Much like the new Lectric XP 2.0. They're upgrading the bike after many of their surveys and feedbacks came back from people asking for that. So they are listening to their clients, you know, whereas I gotta say this about Hyper E-Ride. For the money, the bike is great. I would love to be able to order an extra battery for it. I tried and tried. Nobody responded from my customer service emails. To me, that says a lot. It says that you're gonna get what you get. One of the reasons why I think I should have bought 2 bikes, you know, not just the extra battery, but all the extra parts. It doubles up everything, right? This is a cool little part here, the path. This is an outdoor part here. This is like where the fairgrounds happen, the fair happens, but also indoors, but the flea market here indoors. My buddy Ralph and Dan, the guy that runs the place, the flea market, has a flea market installation there. I don't know how long that's going to be there. It happened because of the pandemic. They were like, what are we going to use this space for? So, well, let's use it for something. And that's what they decided to do. You see some cool carving, or some cool wood carvings up here. I think these were done probably by Jorge, who used to have a wood carving shop up the road from our house. He's like a legend in this area. And for good reason. It's really cool artwork. I'm just guessing that's his work. I think it is his because the bear over here looks a lot like his work. Anyways, it's really cool stuff. This is a beautiful spot to just come out and chill once the weather's nice. You can't beat it. Just, you know, tooling around on a bike, you know. Anyways, this is pedal assist only. There's no throttle, but don't make the mistake of just giving it a little crank, because a little quarter turn will kick that motor. And if you're not ready to go, like I'm riding one-handed, if you're not ready to go, this thing's got a little bit of a kick to it on level ground. So just keep that in mind. Keep the gearing low. I'm doing this whole ride with one hand. You can see how easy and nimble it is to control this bicycle. It's kind of full bars. I've not hardly used the battery at all. I'm gonna cut back across the grass here, back into that path. Get closer to the golf course. Yeah, I'm riding on grass with one hand. You can see there's another gate here. Little squirrel guy. What's up, squirrel guy? Squirrel. Squirrel. Anyways, Monterey Fairgrounds, yeah, a Hyper E-Ride bike, a Hyper E-Ride City Edition. Don't believe all the negative stuff. This bike is good. Even if you had to pay $650 for it, which I think is what it goes for now, it is a good solution for commuting. Just make sure the weather's good, and if you have to ride it in the rain, I would suggest maybe putting some type of plastic shielding, or even some Ziploc or some saran wrap or something. This is sugar sand. I might not make it. Oh, I made it. Oh, I made it. One-handed. It's the same thing. Get through some stuff. It's not wide tire, but it's, you know, not bad. I made sure that the inflation was right before I left. The PSIs are right. Anyways, I'm gonna take this thing over to the storage unit, grab my Lectric XP, and take that out for another part of the journey today. Monterey County Fairgrounds, King City Room, Back Alley Sally. Oh, back here. Where's Back Alley Sally? I don't know about if there's a Back Alley Sally, but Kelly. Removing the battery from the Hyper E-Ride, it's very easy. Just to turn of the key here. See it pop out when it's released. The key is down here. And that little ride I did had some climbs on there up here by the radar tower at the airport, so I ate about half the battery power, just going about 6 miles, but I was really pushing some juice through it, trying to get up some hills. This thing is really not equipped for that. It's more like for commuting. And I did get up the hills, made it. I didn't have to stop and get off the bike and push it. I did use some leg power to do that. But, like I said, for the money, I mean, if you're using this as a daily commuter, just bring it inside, clean it up, give it a nice, you know, dusting down, like a microfiber cloth or something. Maybe leave the chain once a week or every 2 weeks. Keep the battery maintained. You're gonna get a good bike there. Now here's my Lectric XP. You can see I got it fired up. Put my battery in there. A little bit of damage on the battery doesn't seem to stop it from working on the back. But I am probably gonna put some epoxy on it just to make sure it doesn't get worse. It's got nice lighting built into it. It's really just a solid bike. In comparison to the Hyper, there is no comparison. This thing was built solid. The internal battery is cool. It's still not waterproof or resistant like the new 2.0 is. This has 4-inch tires instead of the 3-inch tires like the new one. But it's a hell of a fun bike to ride, and I've had it in sand. I've had it in gravel roads. I've had it going uphill on single track, downhill. It's not a downhill bomber. It's got no suspension, but you got to stand up off the seat, put your weight over the back wheel, and you know, let gravity do its thing. Don't push it hard. Just it reminds me of that old 2-wheel drive bike that could pretty much go over anything, but it would do it at 3 miles an hour. Only this thing can hit. I hit 38 miles an hour doing a downhill the other day. Nice bike. Indoors here. I'm supposed to have my mask on, but there's nobody around, so that's better. Yeah, I can breathe better. Anyways, you can see 545 miles on here. This is not after some challenges that I faced. Basically, the controller had to be replaced after the error codes came up. Not to get into a long story, but be prepared to do some work on your own. I did have to swap the controller out. Lectric and Gabe and the crew over there at Lectric Bikes, they really came through. They sent me new throttle, they sent me new cabling, but it ended up being the controller sent me another one of those. Installed it. They have a video that's pre-made to show you how to do that kind of work and install and also the error codes are in the manual, so you kind of know what's going on. But it was not down long. The bike still worked. I had pedal assist only. It was just my throttle that was affected, really. But gonna take this outside and do a ride. It's super fun. That's what it's all about. Alright, so being 20-inch wheels and narrower handlebars than on the new one, there are advantages to that. Look at how it will fit through this doorway. I mean, that's pretty awesome. It's easy to move around. The kickstand is still down, and yet, look what I'm doing. I'm still wheeling the bike around. It's not easy to do that on all bikes. Anyways, yeah, just a beautiful bike through and through. They really put a lot into the, the look of it and the way it handles. So the 3-inch tires on the new one are supposed to be a little more agile. I've had no problems at all throwing this bike around, getting it around turns and up and down hills, and it just wants to go. I average on steep inclines, maybe 8 miles an hour. It's not a speed demon, but it's going to get you up those hills and save your knees and your lower back and all that good stuff. Just be sure to stretch out just like you would on any other exercise bike, because you are going to get exercise with it. It's not a pure throttle bike to get you up those hills. You can throttle the bike, it's just not going to do it. You have to assist it to get up those climbs. But anyways, overall, I'm super impressed with the Lectric XP. For what I spent to get it to me from Arizona to California, with the taxes, under $1,000, you cannot beat that deal for what you're getting for the money and the fun and enjoyment. Again, I'm going to go back to that, because fun and enjoyment, that's what it's all about. There's other people online talking about this bike all the time. The fellow that takes his family out on the rides, he's a great guy. He talks about some of the challenges he's had. Check out his videos too. Ultimately, just get out and ride, wear a helmet, be safe, and if you can save the planet, use less gas, use your legs, plug in the wall, all that good stuff. And this place will be here for the grandkids and the grandkids, and so on and so on and so on. Lectric XP. So one thing about the Lectric XP to keep in mind is that you're not going to be able to use the throttle unless you're in a pedal assist mode. So if I drop that down to 0, I got no throttle, and that's pretty wise actually, for a couple reasons. I like to put it back down into 0 when I'm stopped riding, so I don't accidentally hit the throttle when I'm not on the bike. That's always a good idea, to make sure the bike doesn't take off from underneath you, right? So just keep that in mind. Right now I'm just pedaling on my own. I'm not even using the electric, so I'm going to go up to 1. It's an easy transition. And now I'm very easily taking my time up a hill. Speed limit 25 miles an hour. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to have a problem with that, but at least in this mode. But if you go in and tinker with your speeds, you can max it out. You're going to hit 28 according to the book, which is a good chance you will on level ground, you know. If your weight is down and you don't have a lot of stuff in your backpack like I do. Like I have another battery backpack in there, or battery pack in my backpack. So that's what's going on with me. And one hand on the camera here, of course. But anyways, I'm gonna put this camera away because I want to have some fun riding this Lectric XP. I want to thank those guys over there for helping me get back up around 100%. Just keep in mind that stuff like that happens. If you read the terms and conditions in the instruction manual, it does say that Lectric XP is not responsible for the time involved in you doing that work on any of the warranty work with the parts that come in. You're going to be responsible for labor. If you're not comfortable doing wiring, or it's not even wiring, it's just disconnecting plugs and connecting them to the right plugs, you're going to be fine. If you're not inclined to do stuff like that, I mean, you're probably not going to have that problem anyways, but if you do, you know, take it to a shop and those guys can do this for you, and they can do it well, because most bike mechanics, yeah, they might not want to work on a bike motor, but they can work on all the other parts on the bike. So give them a shout out and see what they would charge you to do that. Meanwhile, just ride, wear a helmet, be safe, and go green. Go green.